Hi, everyone. I'm Linda Swindling, and today we're talking about, how do you negotiate tough times? Because we're in tough times right now. And how do we deal with the current crisis like a survivor? So I thought, who better to talk to us about surviving than someone that was actually on the Survivor show? You may remember Holly Hoffman. Holly was actually the last remaining member of the Espada tribe, and she made it to the final four. She was the last woman standing, and she was on the season 21, Survivor Nicaragua. The show's on CBS. If you haven't watched it, you have to watch that show. It's great. So Holly, after her time on Survivor, actually became a professional speaker, and she's the author of Your Winner Within, and also Write Yourself a Note. Holly acknowledges that life is made up of challenges, just like we're facing right now. And we often feel like we are, faced with situations that are really insurmountable. So Holly, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And you said that this time right now, these tough times, these challenging times, remind you a little bit of your show on Survivor. How?
They absolutely do. I feel like I've walked back into the jungle. I actually, the other day I just went outside for a walk, and I had this sense of loneliness inside. And I had this sense of everything is gone, but it's not gone. That's what we really need to look at today, because we think that everything is falling down and we're facing all these challenges, but we're going to recover, just like I did on Survivor. I had a crash on day 5. And we're in a crisis, but we need to look at things differently. We need to look at things positively and say, you know what, how are we going to recover from this? But life can be like living in a jungle, and it totally reminds me of being back on Survivor. Where am I going? How am I going to get there? How far am I going to get in the game? How am I going to thrive to keep surviving? Yeah,
and you were scared there. You and I talked. The first part, you were scared. You're faced with some uncertainty. You said there was a big part of the time that you wanted to just go home. And it's called the survivor's way, right? Is that what you call it? It's just, how do you survive? So can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Well, I wanted to quit on day 5, but actually I'm going to go back to day 1. When I walked into the jungle, it was not what I expected it to be. I had this vision in my head that I was going to walk out there and there was going to be tents and campers and porta potties and food, and there was nothing. And that's kind of how we feel right now. It's the unknown. And what is the biggest thing about going into the unknown is fear. And too many times we dwell on fear and we think, oh my goodness, we let our minds do these tricks on us, and we sit and we think about the next 5 days when we need to take one day at a time. And when I figured that out on Survivor, I started playing the game better, because I started feeling better about myself. I started feeling better about the game. Instead of building up my anxiety and thinking 5 days ahead, I was taking 1 second at a time, 1 minute at a time. So that's truly what I think we need to do right now.
Terrific. And you have 6 words. You came up with 6 words to kind of, I guess, keep you motivated. You kind of reflected on what you did well. What are those 6 words?
Those 6 words are faith, attitude, determination, confidence, desire, and perseverance. I call those my 6 words to survival.
Okay, terrific. Okay, so the first one is faith.
Correct.
Can you walk me through a little bit? What does faith mean, especially as the surviving piece?
Absolutely. Well, I felt very lonely in the jungle. And, sitting in my condo, I have to be very honest. There are days where I'm lonely, but we need to truly remember we're not alone. As I was in the jungle, I would walk down with a couple other players, and we would sit on a log at night. And as we would watch the sunset, we would say a prayer. And you can look at faith in both ways. Faith in God, which that's what I did. I had to pray. I had to watch the sunset. And I felt like I knew he was giving me strength. And you can also look at and having faith in yourself. We all need to take a look in the mirror and say, you know what, I can do this. If you keep dwelling on what you can't do, of course you're going to get yourself down. You're going to have high anxiety. But I know when I was in the jungle and I did that for myself, it truly did help me. So have faith, whether you want to have faith in yourself, faith in God. We need to remember that faith doesn't make it easy. It makes it possible.
Got it. All right. And faith is a good message for right now. Faith
Absolutely.
will get through this, right?
Yes, it will.
Walk me through attitude, because I think those two kind of go hand in hand, don't they?
They really do. I had a really bad attitude at the beginning of the game. I did some stuff that even my friends, as we were watching back home, they were like, did they make you do that? And I said, no. I swore. I spilled a container of snails. I called people stupid. I buried a guy's $1,600 pair of alligator shoes. And this is like walking in a jungle. We meet with our employees every day, right? And our coworkers every day. And we come from all walks of life. We're different personalities. We need to learn how to work as a team. When you walk into the office to work every day, it's like walking into the jungle. Not everybody's going to think the same way you do. Not everybody's going to have the same perspective as you do or the same attitude. But you are the one that's in control of your attitude. Don't let others control your attitude. You are the one that's in control. And you're perceived by your attitude every single day.
Well, and that's especially true right now. We're talking during all the coronavirus scare, and a lot of people aren't walking into an environment. They're working virtually. They're having to deal with each other. They're doing crazy things at the supermarket, trying to get all the toilet paper, whatever. So what you're really saying too is we have to control our attitude even though we're afraid.
Absolutely. It's your mindset. And also we have to look at our attitude with change. We're all going through a huge change right now, and change is something you deal with every day. But how do you deal with that change? Do you go into the panic mode, or do you go into the, okay, I'm gonna be able to do this mode? I can do this. I'm powerful. I can. So attitude is also about change, and change is hard, but comfort can totally be a trap.
So you would say some of the bad actions on your part of that was really trying to get in control and being afraid maybe, and then trying to do some things. And do you think that's what we're seeing? Do you think that's why people are, acting so panicky, whether it's a grocery store or at work, or, I see a lot of people trying to sell. And right now, nobody's buying right now, or not many are. Is that what you're seeing as well?
It's fear. It's
fear.
It's the number one cause for anxiety and attitude is fear. And everybody's is fearful. We don't know what the future is going to bring. We don't know how to get to day 39 like you had to get to on Survivor. And so one day at a time is really what we need to do. And I know it's so hard. I've had a lot of emails, a lot of friends calling me and saying, Holly, how can I be more positive? It starts with you. Stop watching 24 hours of the news. That's what I did. And that's what I did right away. I was in front of the television constantly. And now I say, you know what? I'm going to watch a certain amount. I'm turning it off. I'm going outside for a walk. I'm going to make a phone call with a friend. So change your daily routine is basically what I'm trying to say. That's what everybody needs to do.
Terrific. Well, Holly, thank you so much. You've agreed to come back on in a moment and do a second session. And we just really appreciate your knowledge and just giving us hope. There is hope. Control that fear and do it by having faith in yourself, faith in something bigger than you are. And also attitude. Choose your attitude, make good decisions around your attitude, and don't let the fear control your attitude. So again, this is How Do You Negotiate with Tough Times? I'm Linda Swindling with Holly Hoffman. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.